Howdy. Well, we're within 2 weeks of the election, and everywhere you go, you're seeing political advertisements. And there's one that's being shown on television that I just find funny. It starts out with a guy, and he's sitting in front of a locker, and there's a football jersey, and he's wrapping athletic tape around his wrist. And the dialogue is like, when I used to play football, before every game, I would write a message to myself. And it shows an arm and a piece of tape, and he writes, teamwork. And it shows an arm and a piece of tape. He writes, accountability. Then it shows an arm, and he writes on the piece of tape, sacrifice. Now, I think it's hilarious that this commercial shows he has 3 arms. It's just my weird sense of humor. Now, the advertisement doesn't affect how I'm going to vote. I wasn't going to vote for the guy anyway because of other issues. But it just, like I said, I just find it funny. Now, again, I make my decision based on more serious matters, and this is just a little detail. But remember, one thing that Christ said was, he who is faithful in very little shall be faithful in much. We tend to overlook or dismiss the little things. We tend to think, it's not important, don't worry about it. But if we're going to be perfect, as our Heavenly Father is perfect, every little flaw is something that stands in the way of the holiness that we're supposed to have. It's easy for us to dismiss the little white lie. It's easy for us to dismiss, oh, nobody will notice. It's easy to dismiss it doesn't really matter. But it's also those little things that separate us from who God calls us to be. It does matter. They are important. And we need to pay attention, and we need to work on being completely the disciples of Jesus Christ, being completely pure and holy and blameless before the Lord. It's easy for us to fall in the trap. It's easy for us to not sweat the small stuff. But we should still strive to be the person who Christ calls us to be Christ-like in every way, and to strive for that perfection of the one that set the example of being completely sinless at all. Thanks for listening. Adios.